Hi, I'm Dr. Dustoff, the whiz behind the Dustoff compressed gas duster. Thanks for choosing the Dustoff duster to keep your consumer electronics clean and working great. And speaking of working great, this short video will show you how to use the Dustoff duster safely and effectively. Dustoff is not air in a can. It actually contains a liquefied gas. When you pull the duster's trigger, you dispense gas vapors that mix with air to do a great job of cleaning. Getting started. Take it from Dr. Dustoff. Before using any chemically based product, such as our compressed gas duster, always review the back panel warning information. An important thing to keep in mind when you get started is to keep the product upright. We'll say more about that later. Find the safety tab on the trigger body, which is also called the actuator. Pull the safety tab up and away to break it off the trigger body. With the tab removed, the product is set to use. For hard-to-reach areas, like between keyboard keys, insert the attached straw for a more concentrated spray. It's possible, though, that the can's been shaken or stored on its side. If so, the liquefied gas contents may have traveled into the dispensing chamber. You don't want to squirt out liquefied gas. To make sure you don't, turn the nozzle away from yourself and away from everything else, and pull the trigger in 3 or 4 short blasts. If you see white stuff spritzing out of the nozzle, you're dispensing liquefied gas, and the nozzle is clearing. If there's no white substance, just the clear vapor-air mix, you're ready to start blasting dust away. During use. Never hold the can upside down when you use a compressed gas duster. Never hold it at too sharp an angle when you're dusting. New users should get familiar with the tilt tolerance of the can. What is tilt tolerance? It's simple. With any compressed gas duster, there's a certain angle that the can cannot exceed before it starts to squirt liquefied gas. Experiment a little to get accustomed to the tilt tolerance of your Dustoff duster, and then you're ready to start cleaning. Just hold the can 2 or 3 inches from the spot you want to clean and try a series of short blasts. It's better not to hold down the nozzle trigger for a long blast. I'll tell you why later. If using your Dustoff duster seems pretty simple, it is, but you'll get the best results if you keep these pointers in mind. Never shake the can. If you do, you'll dispense liquefied gas instead of gas vapors. When you use the duster, it's normal for the can to get cold and lose pressure. When the product returns to room temperature, it will regain pressure and be ready to use again. Staying safe. Keep these thoughts in mind for the safe use of your Dustoff duster. Never use your duster near a possible ignition source. Remember, a Dustoff compressed gas duster contains liquefied gas, not air. Under extreme conditions, this gas can ignite. Don't use it to clean motors, electrical engines, paper shredders, electrical appliances, or anything else that might spark or cause a fire. Also, never aim the product into confined spaces like the back of a TV, trash cans, and so on. The blast of vaporized gas can collect there, increasing the risk of ignition. If you dispense the liquid in the duster onto a surface, it may discolor or freeze the material it touches. Be especially careful when you clean inside your computer's CPU. Liquefied gas could freeze components and stop them from functioning. Never use the product in any way other than intended. Protect your family by keeping the product in an area children can't reach. If the following problems should occur, follow our recommended first aid suggestions. If the product is inhaled in a high concentration, inconsistent with normal use, move the person to fresh air immediately. If the product is dispensed into a person's eyes, immediately flush with warm water. If the liquid form of the product contacts the skin, immediately wash with warm water. Treat for frostbite if necessary. In any of these situations, always call your personal physician or call 1-800-498-7192 for advice on the treatment of accidental injury. For any medical emergency, our MSDS, that is Material Safety Data Sheets, can be found right on our website. You can search these sheets with the product number on the back of the can, or with the CAS number also found on the back of the can in the caution box. And finally, here's an important message to parents. Parents need to be aware of the dangers of inhalant abuse, also known as huffing. More than 1,400 common household products, from gasoline to spray paint to body sprays to butane and even compressed gas dusters, can be abused by someone seeking a cheap, quick high. While each of these products has a useful purpose and is completely harmless when used as intended, intentionally misusing or abusing them can be harmful or even fatal. Get informed by visiting the National Inhalant Prevention Coalition at www.inhalants.com or the Alliance for Consumer Education at www.inhalant.org. And most importantly, talk to your kids about this dangerous practice. After use. When you're finished cleaning, here's how to store your duster for the best results next time you use it. To avoid losing the extension straw, tape it to the side of the can. First, store the product in an upright position. Lock the duster out of reach of children, a good idea for any chemically based product. Never store your dust-off duster in a closed vehicle or leave it exposed to direct sunlight. Always store the duster in a cool place. Remember, cleaning consumer electronics is just one of its many uses. When you use it properly, your dust-off compressed gas duster is completely safe. Check out the Dust Off website for some examples and make the most of your dust-off duster wherever you need it.